Hey guys, it's me Simone. In this video we are going to talk about my waxes and give you a little bit of a review, update, and try out some new techniques to preserve these. Alright, let's talk. So on my DIY wax paste video I showed you how to make these, and it's been, well, I think I made these in like March, right? February, March, around that time. It's August now, and I've had these for this long. Now, they don't run out that quickly, so I still have a good bit of these, and I've been kind of working on a project for these that I want to do. But I've had some questions on that video, like, are they drying out, like the Inca Golds? Could you add glycerin to them for this or that? And I've been wanting to try that out for you guys to show you over the couple of months I've had these what has been going on. Actually, you know, I'm going to show you the video. I made these somewhere in like January, and I made more for the video in March. And so with all that being said, I wanted to show you the ones I made in January, the ones I made in March, show you what's going on with them, and see how they're working. So here are the colors swatched out, dry for the most part. So, well, this was covered too. Yeah. But most of them are dry, and that little iridescent sheen, I think you can see them. So I have a couple colors like this iridescent gold, this iridescent pink, red kind of color, iridescent green, and then just green, like a blue, like an aqua kind of color, a purple, a gold, like a bronze, particularly bronze color, and like a steel gray kind of black color. So overall, this, I will admit, yes, some of these are starting to dry out a bit. Cap off, baby. On most of them, there's a little, like a firm skin on that I have to peel back to get the gold, to get the ink wax. So some of my colors are doing that. My newer colors, I think like this one, this is my iridescent gold. It's still going on strong, and this was made back in March. You don't really see it because it's iridescent, but so yeah. So my colors, my starter colors, this one is still going on strong, it's a little thicker. What else is, that's a newer color, my iridescent violet. It's still going on strong. This was made with the video. Okay. But yeah, my gun metal black, I think it's drying out. Yeah, this one's drying out. You can see this like really firm. So I want to see some tests with these. I want to see if maybe adding more oil to these would do any difference. If adding glycerin would do a difference with them. And of course, I have to heat these up. So I'm going to actually do that. But let me tell you this real quick. So some are drying out and some are not. Do understand that each mega powder takes oil differently. So understand that. Some have more oil, some have less, which can extend or shorten the time that these will last, maybe. We'll see some ideas, because don't forget these are homemade, so they're not, it's all things in here that preserve them as well, like the ones that are made in a factory and stuff, so understand that. But with this, you know what colors that you're putting in, you know what colors that you want to use, and you can play with that with this one. So I haven't made too many colors because, you know, I've been using these slowly, and I don't want to make a bunch of colors and they're trying to dry out a little bit and waste my time and money. But I still like using these. I love the color of them. I used them in an art journal page a while ago. Like, I don't know after that art journal page. But if you watched my One Book July, one of the pages I did was actually in that one, the book I used. And I put wax over it, some fabric and stuff. So I'm going to set up everything, fast forward, and talk over the process. and I'm going to go through and remelt these, add a little bit of oil to some of these, add some glycerin, and see if that helps. And before I go, I did want to brief on this because I did see a comment about this. Someone asked if you can do different oils. I was supposed to make a list, chat. But you want to use oils that people make oil paint out of. Don't use any other kind of oil. It has to be a specific oil because of the properties of this oil that makes it be able to become a paint and dry itself out. That's a big thing. You want this to be able to dry itself out. And there's certain properties like fats, I think so, some of the P, some kind of protein thing, I forgot, that makes it do the heats itself up to dry up. That's what that oil does. When it sits out, it gets kind of hot and I don't say evaporates, but basically in that sense does that. So I did in that comment on that video did list a bunch of things, but like sunflower oil, walnut oil, you can use linseed oil. There's like tons of oils. If you look up oils for oil paint, you will find tons. I will leave the link below of the oil that I use and a linseed oil, and I think I used like one more oil that's very popular to use if you don't want to use nut oil, but I use this oil because it's nuts, a little more, I'm gonna say organic, but yeah, and that's what I used and I enjoyed it. Scent, you can, I didn't mention too, you can add a scent to this if you want to. You could add those oils to this if you want to give this a scent. It does have a slight scent to it, but it's not that strong. I wouldn't say it's like every time I open this up it's like, oh my gosh, it scents so amazing, but it's not. But I do smell something. It's like a waxy sweet smell. Yeah, that's what I smell. But it's not like super noticeable. You have to be right up on it. I think some of the colors are more fragrant than the others, but for the most part, I don't really smell too much. And especially when I first made these, I didn't smell a thing. But if you want to, you can go get yourself some essential oils and add a little drop to them if you want them to smell like something, if that's what you want. You think that would help you use them more, I don't know, or make it more pleasant to work with them. It's up to you. So let me set everything up and get everything ready so we can do this testing. Nothing. Alright. Alright guys. Hey guys. Let's get started. Alright, so right now I'm going to heat my pot up and I'm going to kind of get everything ready and pick the colors that I want to use. I was actually, when I did this project, I was very kind of just at the edge of my seat because I did not know if it was going to remelt or not. Or what was going to happen. So it was kind of up in the air. I was hoping it would, since the wax is in there. I thought it should, but I did not know for a fact. After that, I put the paint, the little cups in, and I added glycerin. I added about 3 to 5 drops of glycerin in each one. It just ranged on how big the container was and how much came out. I really wasn't measuring anything. After I did that, I stirred it around and let it heat up and kind of run my business. And I'm going to kind of stop right there and then you can watch the video and just hear me talk and explain some things. First thing is, when I did remelt this, I did experience that the skin on the top of it that was really hard did not melt. It stayed there. I am just pushing it to the bottom of the pan and just letting it stay there because I did not want to have to stress about picking that thing out and the wax dripping off of it and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I didn't really care. Second thing I noticed is the difference. I have noticed that these things are much smoother on my hands, much smoother application. But I have noticed that they don't dry the same. They're not as smooth when they dry like when I first used them. But that could just be that they're older and they're dried out. So that could have been the thing since I did remelt these. But they still do dry. It does still take about a minute time to let them dry. So understand that this is oil paint basically with wax in it. So it's going to take a couple of days depending on how much you put down. I think the longest it took me for something to dry was, I think almost a week. Yeah, close to a week just depends on you. So this is going to be a long drying process. So understand that. If you don't have any patience, you might not want to make this. Besides that, I only did two colors because I wanted to see what would happen. Like if this ruined my paste, I did not want all the other colors I made to be ruined by this too. So I wanted to see. And then I want to see how long this lasted compared to other ones that I made in January that are trying to dry out. Now, if they completely dry out, I don't think you'll be able to save them because the way the skin acted on it. I don't think you would be able to save them if they completely dry out, but I have not got to that point, so yes. I'm gonna let them sit for a couple months, and if I see my other colors completely drying out, I might just do this technique anyways, or just add more oil to them, whenever I decide to do. And of course, I didn't add any more oil because I love the consistency of it, but you can do that too to see if that helps you out. And pretty much after that, I just kind of play with it. But I love the consistency now of it. It's really smooth. Like I think the glycerin really helped with that. But I also think it's weird how the texture is, and it could have just been how I put it on the napkin. A napkin, but the piece of brown paper that I used. Because some parts of it I feel are smoother than how it first was, and other parts I feel like it's a little rougher. So I think it depends on the paper and the application. So it could be more smoother. I think it is a little bit depending on it. I don't know. It depending on what you used too, the color you used, and how old it was too. But of course, this does not affect how they react. They're still going to dry. They still are waterproof, and they still are gorgeous. But as I said in the first video, I think I said this. Everything depends on you. The color you use, the wax you use, the oil you use. If you use um, mica powder that's very dull and bad, you're going to have dull looking paste. If you use better quality or better colors, you can have better color paste. So maybe if you went out and purchased your your pigment from somewhere else, you would have got better color. For me, I'm fine. The eBay mica powder is gorgeous. I have no problems with it. It's like $2 or $3, um, and you can buy multiples. I bought the 10 ounce, but I'm sorry, 10 grams, but you can buy the 50 grams, which means you can replace this 5 times without unless you run out of supplies, but you most likely won't. And that's what makes this cheaper. Just the fact that you can reuse the same container, you can just make some more, and you don't have to keep purchasing a new container every time you run out. But as I said before, make enough for you because this will dry itself out after a couple of months, and um, use what you think makes fit. I will link in the description bar below some oils that you can use for oil paints, um, and my old video, and that's about it. Much love, guys, and I love you so much. Hope you try this out, and have any questions, put in the comments below. Bye. Get crafty.